call meeting for August 28th for the Floyd County School Board. I'd like to welcome everyone here on a nice rainy evening. I'd like to do roll call. All board members are present, exception of Linda, and she has tried to make it, but due to the traffic on 23, she's stuck and cannot get here. So, next up is need to do the appointment of Stephen Trimble as board secretary effective July 1st. I need a motion for that.
I make that motion.
Gina made the motion. I need a second. Dr. Tanner second. Any opposed? Motion passes. There is a clipboard laying up front on the table if anybody wishes to address the board. A reminder that please sign your name, address, to where you can be reached after the meeting. Next, I'd like to take a moment of individual silence to reflect on why we are here. Thank you. Next is the adoption of the agenda. Mr. Trimble,
Yes, we did.
is there any additions?
No additions.
Okay, the agenda is as is. I need a motion to approve. Dr. Tanner made a motion. I need a second. Second, Junior. Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, there's spotlight on student, staff, community achievement, report on student work by South Floyd Elementary School principal and site-based council. Pam doesn't have any recognitions tonight, so it's you all.
It's early.
Yeah. Welcome.
Hello. I want to welcome everybody to our school. We're glad everybody could make it. It is early. However, we're thankful for the August board meeting. So we will begin our presentation. We have worked this entire summer making this huge move and transition to this new building. We've brought 3 schools together. It's been a total team effort, and once school began last week, we now have, when we turned in the presentation, it said 670. Today our enrollment was 688. So with our 75 Head Start kids that we will have, that will be 763 kids in our building. We've worked really hard to get all the procedures in place and to create a positive culture and climate this past week and one day. We are expecting 87% free and reduced lunch with 20% special education population. And also we have 95 employees. I wanted to add that. Our attendance goal for the year will be 96%. The K-Prep goal there says 84. That's what we were shooting for last year, so I'm sure that will be adjusted. And we are also shooting to be a top 10 school in the state. So what we did, since we do not have data to report, we have tried to showcase our positive culture and climate that we have worked really hard to create here. So basically we have turned a high school building into an elementary school. And that's just a few pictures of our new additions out front. And then we are showcasing some of our classrooms. Once we got everything designed, or all decorated. And there at the bottom, we did have some minor, I guess, upgrades in our welcome center. That's in the center picture there. That's where Ms. Doris is stationed and does attendance every day. To involve our community at South Floyd, we will utilize the following: community businesses, local organizations such as Shriners, ARH, UK Extension Office, and etc. And they were all present at our open house. Family Read Nights, Born Learning Academy, and our 21st Century program. So we have a lot of things we're excited about to offer our communities after school hours. And our next slide, just some pictures on how we are creating our positive culture and climate here with our students. We even had a We brought the kids together from all of the schools before school went out last year. That's represented there in one of our pictures. And as always, we focus on attendance. We will be doing bicycle drawings at the end of the school year, monthly drawings and giveaways. Teachers will make contact after absences. As always, we do home visits, and our resource center will be highly involved in that as well. The South Floyd initiatives that we are involved in so far is Summit Learning for our 8th grade. We're going to pilot that in the 7th grade. We are part of the NT3 Pilot School program. That's with the National Board Teachers, and one-to-one technology. We also have devices for our 4th grade this year that we were able to bring from the other schools, and then we're working on iPads for the younger ones. And that's kind of what I say there. And then interactive projectors in every classroom, and computer programs that we've purchased so far is Nearpod, Vocabulary, Study Island, Reading Eggs, and BrainPod. Those are all highly recommended, and several of those go along with the Summit program that we are implementing, and it's things that we've used in the past and we've seen success at the other schools. College and career readiness will be a focus. We are using the Torch Prep program. 21st Century program will be very involved, Summit Learning, and we will be having Career Day here. And I'm just thankful and blessed with this team behind me, and if it wasn't for them, this would not be all possible, but it's been a long summer, and we were thrilled to have kids in the building last Monday. So thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
I just have one comment. I rode the bus in here on that first morning, and I watched your staff out front welcoming every kid. You got multiple hugs. I've never seen so many kids. I know they had to feel welcome when they walked back into the school. And I commend you and your staff on that atmosphere when they came back on that first day. It was awesome. I sat for about 30 minutes to watch that. It was really awesome.
Thank you.
Good job.
So since combining the schools, what's the feedback been? What is
I've had nothing but I've had positive feedback from the community. We're excited about the programs that we can offer now. Being a larger school, we're able to offer more for our kids. Our technology, we're able to put what we had together for the schools. It's been great so far. Of course, we have some concerns, but about things that's out of any of our control. And but we're working on those every day, and we'll do what we can do to fix that.
I think you've done a wonderful job at getting everything together. I walked through the hallway downstairs earlier, and it was very enjoyable and it was very inviting.
Well, I know the maintenance part did. They did a fabulous job turning this in from the high school to an elementary school. It was a major undertaking. Greg and his crew did an excellent job.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I even said this morning I was going to make sure I thank them. They have been amazing, and I know they're tired of hearing from me, but they have been wonderful.
Any other questions?
First, congratulations. The largest school in the district, right?
We are, yes.
And good luck to end that.
Thank you very much.
No, lots of new kids in this school, first time they coming here, and with 87% free education
Yes, ma'am.
and 20% the special need.
Yes.
How could you handle that?
Well, we have, this year we have one of the largest RTI staffs that we've had. So we not only have our RTI, but we have our special ed teachers who's working really hard to make sure we name and claim our students. We do co-teaching, so those teachers will be in the classrooms with the regular ed teachers as well. So just whatever it takes. And we've got the 21st Century program for after school. But I'm all about building relationships and naming and claiming kids. And that's one of the wonderful things about being in this community. We're small, we know our kids, and we do whatever we have to do to help them feel successful and be successful.
Good luck. One day I will come and see how they're handling 720 kids.
You're more than welcome, all of you, anytime. Thank you. Thank you.
First name is Angela Coleman for NCEA.
Good evening again. Thank you for allowing me to speak again on behalf of FCA. I just have a few things to share and then I have a couple of questions. At the last board meeting, I expressed FCA's desire to improve communication from the top to the bottom, from bottom to the top. So tonight I will share a few FCA positives. From the day of the MAC until today, we've had 12 teachers join, new and old teachers. Our goal is to have 100% membership at every school, and we're still working toward that goal every single day. We've had 4 people join FESPA as well, so a total of 16 people have joined, and it makes me feel really good and happy for those people. The day at the MAC, Baseline High School National Honor Society, those girls did a fabulous job, and I just want to go on record again at a board meeting, bragging on those young ladies, giving out the pastries and drinks that morning. They did a fantastic job. So that's the FCA positives that I would like to communicate this evening, and then I have a couple of questions. My first question, since we are a team here in Floyd County, and as a team we've worked together and we've moved to number 6 in the state, I was hoping that the board would consider writing and adopting a resolution to send to the governor and the legislature, supporting the preservation and protection of the defined benefit for all employees, past, present, and future. It's my understanding that districts around the state are doing so, and my question is, will the Board of Education do that on behalf of Floyd County teachers? My second question, I've heard different rumors, as we all do, about different things, and then I've been in email contact with a couple of people about 2 of our programs, the Young Authors Program and the Christmas Through Eyes of a Child program. My best recollection, and I've been involved with both programs over the years, we've received state, and I want to think also national recognition for those programs, especially being authors. So my question is, are those programs going to end? And if so, before they end, can we have a discussion or some communication on what we could do to save those programs? And if it's an issue of money, could we have some discussion and communication on ways we could change those programs to keep them for our kids, and also to pay the coordinators? Maybe just a decrease in pay, but be able to pay the people that are over them and keep the programs for kids. So that's my 2 questions. Thank you. Any questions for me?
No, but our policy is that we'll respond to you in writing within 5 days, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Next is Brent Allen. Welcome, Mr. Allen. Since you're the first time here for a while, our policy is that you get to do all the speaking for at least 5 minutes, and that if we need to respond to anything that you say, it will be done in writing within 5 days.
Thank you. I contacted the superintendent about a week or something ago, week and a half, and I knew the board policy is what you're stating. However, you know, there's a lot of fake news out there. I only believe what I read in the Chronicle. And it appeared also on the Kentucky School Board Association site about your board meeting. I guess the board meeting was July the 26th. And at that meeting, I don't think that you all were quiet. It was back and forth. It was something other about dogs, and I didn't want to just turn this thing into a dog and pony show. Now, did you or did you not go back and forth with the chief of police of Prestonsburg?
I asked questions, 2 questions that I asked.
Okay.
That was it.
Glad you clarified that. So basically what I'm going to do is to tell you my status, my concerns, and why of all places that I want to be up here at this board meeting. My name is Brent Allen. I'm a taxpayer, first and foremost. I reside off of 680, adjacent to the new Floyd County Central High School, which was originally part of my grandfather's farm. I'm a disabled, retired director of pupil personnel, taught 6 years at Wheelwright High School, and been disabled for the last 20 years. My status at present, I'm a federal witness in an investigation of the Floyd County Board of Education members, former board member, former superintendent, construction management company, pursuant criminal charges under the Racketeer, Influence, Corruption, and Organizational Act, commonly known as the RICO Act. This is very last place. I have been playing music for the last 14 years in church, the last 4 at the Maytown Church, Redwood Baptist Church. My grandchildren, unfortunately, I'll go into that, they're afraid to come to see Grandpa because of threats made by people connected with this Board of Education and the construction company. And also I have family members that are teachers, and they are concerned because of my presence here that this board will retaliate against them. After having threats made against me, I was out thousands of dollars on security cameras, automatic gate openers. As you go by my house on the way back to Prestonsburg or whatever, you see where I have closed circuit TV and through my lap. My dad was in the Navy during the Second World War, and he told me a story of when ships are sinking, the rats are the first to leave the ships. Well, apparently, I'm not calling him a rat, but your former superintendent isn't here. Former board president isn't here. And the former board attorney, Mr. Michael Smith, isn't here. I believe he's the chairman of the Public Service Commission. What was threatened was the acquisition of property at Floyd Central. I have several questions for the Floyd County Board of Education members tonight concerning their knowledge of the property for the high school. Let me be crystal clear. None of my questions pertain to Mr. Newsom, which is a new board member, or Mr. Trimble. They were not on board. You were. Each and every document and subject matter discussed tonight will be given copies to the press. Floyd County Chronicle representative, which I've already discussed with you. But first, the public and I must know what your protocol is, and you already told me about the, I guess you were really aware that I was coming, so you won't respond. According to the Floyd County Chronicle, in your last board meeting, our accusations, brother, I think we've covered that. According to the Chronicle and the article, a good attorney, as you know, never asks a question unless he knows the answer. It appears at the last board meeting, the construction manager through you all, the former superintendent, and even the poor people that's working on that school site under the bus, so you trashed them. That's according to the KSBA Floyd County Chronicle article. That's not me. I speak to the board tonight to seek truth and justice, and none of my questions are taken out of context as for slanderous or libelous reasons. Madam Chairman, when you address my questions in this open public forum or say nothing, I will ask you true or not true questions, just like Trey Gowdy did with former Director Comey. If the questions get hot or truthful, you decide to shut me down or tell me my time's up. You may be asked the same questions in another environment or another city. Let me start out. Before anyone, and I think Mr. Newsom's wife is realtor or whatever, if you ever bought a home, when you go to the bank will, what they'll do in their cost, they'll appoint a realtor to do what we call a fair market value appraisal on that property. Hope you understand that. And that realtor will do, he'll take that same property and he'll go to about 3 other places surrounding in the county and see what that property is worth. One of the things I learned a long time ago was that the board only speaks through its minutes. True, not true. Were you aware of the threat made against me? Because I knew the dirty secret about the acquisition of property at Floyd Central. Number 3, on June the 23rd, 2014, Board Order 18251 employed Bill Smith to represent the Floyd County Board of Education's interest on property for condemnation proceedings. That's one of your rights as a public entity, just like the state highway, to where that you have the right to condemn property and give it its fair market value. June the 25th of 2014, May Valley Executive Session for the purpose of litigation on property. No minutes. True, not true. On July the 24th of 2014, at May Valley, Kevin Cheek discussed the Floyd County Central High School design for athletics and parking. True, not true. July the 31st, 2014, Central Office Executive Session to discuss potential settlement of property pursuant to litigation. True, not true. July the 31st, return to open session and possible vote of resolution of condemnation related litigation. True, not true. You heard a gentleman by the name of Neil or Bill Smith, not your board attorney. I don't know if they thought it was something that smelled fishy or whatever, but you hired a independent law firm to do your booking or litigation, condemnation, and you paid out public taxpayer dollars for that. True, not true. After the board meeting, did the board take any official recorded action? You only speak through your minutes and your orders. Did you take any official recorded action in appointing a board member to bargain with the landowner for a price? This is an important question. Why? You need to think about that one very hard. On August the 25th of 2014, did the board vote to approve a contract with architect Sherman Carter Barnhart, PSC Board Order 18240? True, not true. August the 25th, 2014, did the board have discussion on said property and construction Board Order 18344? True, not true. August the 25th, 2014, did the board vote for Board Order 18346 for executive session to continue litigation procedures against Elkhorn Code for the Floyd County Central High School? True, not true. September the 4th, 2014, special meeting, did the board take up item 3 on your agenda, consideration offer of landowner to resolve condemnation action? True, not true.
Mr. Allen, I've actually allowed you 5 minutes over your time.
Okay.
And all of those questions have been recorded. And if you have more questions that you want answered, if you will provide them to us in writing, we would be more than happy to answer those and get back to you.
Okay, I'll get the next meeting. One thing I need to share with you. Ms. Meadows over here with Floyd County Chronicle. Why I'm bringing this to your attention with fair market value and appraisal. Deed book 484, page 92. I know this, and nobody else does. My cousin in South Carolina, she inherited that, as far as another part. She got Century 21 to do a fair market value appraisal of your Floyd Central High School property. This was back in 2003. They appraised it for $93,500. Deed book 60873. On September the 5th of 2014, you used our tax dollars and got our tax dollars and paid for that $93,500 $1,275,000 plus over $4 and some million for site preparation. See you at the next board meeting.
Thank you. Next is speak to the board? Are there any students that wishes to address the board? Any parents, PTA, PTO? Any site-based councils? Classified employees? Certified employees, FCEA? Angela's already spoken. Principals Association? Members of the Board of Education? Public comment. Anyone else that wishes to address the board? Next is for action or special reports, student learning. Where school just started, there's nothing on for us. And number 5, action or special reports, receive report of the superintendent. Mr. Trimble? Nothing to add. I need a motion to approve the report. Gina made the motion. Dr. Chandler second. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next is receive utility report for South Floyd Elementary School. Does anybody have any questions? I need a motion to pass the report. Dr. Chandler makes the motion. I need a second. Junior seconds. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next is receive construction management architect and progress report. Kevin?
All right. We'll get the technology going for me. Wes will take care of it here. Transfer the mouse. I've got Bill Cobb with me with Floyd Construction. And what we want to do at first is give you a report on where we're at with regards to the Betsy Lane project. Of course, that project is ongoing. Let's see if I can get all of these buttons hit at the right time. Hopefully you can see these. If not, either board, please feel free to move around where you can see these. These were taken today on site. We had a progress meeting today, as we do every month, and Floyd Construction ran that progress meeting. And these are some of the in-progress photos that you can see here. Right off the bat, you can see now we're getting up to the bearing height of the steel joists. The steel joists are on site, ready to be placed. They're going to talk about getting those up shortly. As they get this wall up to the remaining bearing height, they'll start setting those steel joists across the gymnasium. This is the bleacher side, and there's bleachers over here. The track comes around the front. What you're seeing right here, and I'll show you a quick photo of this. If you recall, one of the things that you all had requested was a bus canopy area, a place where the students can stand out and be out of the weather. This is going to create a canopy structure out in front that's part of the building, and literally the track comes out over a portion of this. So it's kind of got an overhang happening there, and that's what they're in the process of working through on that. You can see sort of the scale and the mass. This is going to be your main entrance as you come in here, right about where that forklift is, in that corner. That's going to be the glass curtain wall assembly that opens that up and then ties right back into the existing entrance that's there currently. So we're going to maintain that corridor. The admin area will be over here. So you'll basically have a new facade to this building for all intents and purposes. So you won't see much of that existing building once we get this done and completed. You can see a lot of the steel is on site, stored on site. The masons were working everywhere today, trying to beat the rain. And you can see here, this is that canopy area that's going to be coming out across here. They'll set steel across here, and this will be the track level up above that. So we're trying to utilize that space, be creative in creating a canopy without having to add an additional canopy structure in that space. When you come in the building, you turn to the right. This is where your security vestibule will be. The reception area will be here. We've got all of the masonry coming around. They've got the first course of masonry laid down, and they've also got the floor slabs poured in the admin. The last time we were here, that was not completed. There was just rough in, and none of the masonry had been started at that point. Here's another shot. You can see some of the rough ends for the restrooms and things in the concession stand, or not concession stand, but the nurses area back off this side here. This, as you walk in, you turn to the left. When you come in the doors, this will be the entranceway into the gym, and I'll show you another picture of it shortly. But then the elevators here, these are the toilet rooms, and of course this is an area here as well off those toilet rooms that we've got. And in this photo, you can see The concession stand we're talking about right outside that gymnasium area. And then above this whole area will be another level for the upper portion of the gymnasium, so they can come out. There's a staircase out here and so forth that comes into play. And then you've got that upper level has the same toilet rooms as the upper level for those bleacher areas. So we've got 2 restrooms up and down, which is really helpful. And the elevator will take the ADA accessibility issue up to that upper level. There's the elevator shaft right now in place. And then this is, once you go past and through that, down that main, what I call Main Street, going down the center of the building, that's an open 2-story space. You'll come out into this area. This is one of the courtyards that can be used for activities outside of there. You can see the gym walls up, and this comes right up against the existing building. And then here is the ramps that will go up. Today we looked at colors, and I brought a color board if the board would like to see that. Maybe after we're done here, I'll show you those colors. What the principal had selected today for the colors, and you can kind of see that color scheme. Just some more of the masonry work coming on. This right here, this is not an issue really. That's just the way the perspective is of the photograph. They've got masonry wall that runs on by. They're doing the control joints and putting that in. I took that photo because I wanted to see it again later on when I got on the other side. Everything's fine. This area here, this is this tall wall that we're building above. And here is where they've taken the 2 classrooms, and the principal's really, and the staff's really working with us well, and working with the construction manager and the contractors. We needed to be able to go, your roof is in very poor shape out there. We've known that for years. That's something that's got to be addressed at some point. However, we are taking part of that roof and we're re-roofing that portion. But we did not want that area to be occupied below with block work going above it. It was just not the right thing to do. So the teachers and staff worked with us to vacate those classrooms for the safety of the students, move them out, just in case it's always to be safe. So they're going in here, they shored the wall up, they've got the block up, and then when they come back, they're going to shore up on the interior of the classrooms, the existing roof structure, so that they can build scaffolding off that structure to lay the brick and so forth on up. And then that'll all get a new roof. The whole section of roof, the width of that gymnasium, from this wall back, will get a new roof system on it. And that would be the start of a potential future re-roof, because that material can carry right on down and we can re-roof this whole thing. One of the challenges your building has is it's a pre-engineered building type structure. We can't tear the metal deck off to re-roof it, so we're going over top of it with a purlin system that allows us to keep that roof intact and we don't impact the vegetation, so we can kind of move forward once we go in. In this photograph here, you can see that's another shot looking back down. This is that outside area. This will be glass on both sides. That's the corridor. That will be your Main Street corridor. The Main Street comes in, takes a little turn here, it's right up and centers back up and in. Inside the gym, this is the bleacher seating that is over the locker rooms here. You can see the block wall. This is the end. There's locker rooms underneath here. But we went up here today, we looked at the concrete. There's some things there that we're working with, some concrete finish issues. We had a contractor walk across the concrete, and now we want to get that fixed, so we don't need the footprints of the contractor there. So we worked with the contractor trying to find a solution to that so we can move forward in that area. And then you've got more masonry work. That's where they're working there across that wall, bringing that wall across for the joist bearing. And the steel stairs are going in now, which is a good sign to see. Anytime you start seeing that going on, you know it's starting to move a little bit faster when the steel shows up on site. Inside the locker rooms, the last time we talked, these were wide open. Now they're starting to get the divider walls in, the stalls and so forth are being built. And of course, electrical panels are in place. This is the laundry room. Back here's the mechanical room. The door frames are being set. One of the reasons I took this photo is the grade changes. This is the wall that was adjacent to that courtyard area we were looking at. Just in case if one of you all went out there to look around and saw that and wondered why in the world is that exposed, it's not exposed. It gets another layer of masonry to seal that condition. But we had to have a retaining wall situation there, and that's waterproof on the other side with vent waterproofing. So that's why we did that, but I wanted you to see that that will be assured that's not going to be a finished condition. Again, this is inside those toilet rooms, the rough-ins for the new toilet rooms, and then back to this photo. So this is where we're at today. Things are moving. It's we still have some schedule issues. I think, Bill, are you going to talk about scheduling it, or are you going to talk about scheduling?
I'm not aware of what you got.
What we talked about today, what the construction, the job site superintendent on site indicated during the meeting was that he felt like we're 3 to 4 weeks behind schedule, but they're trying their best to make it up by moving over in that other area. And we're going to continue to monitor that and let you know where we're at. That's where we're at today. Any questions?
Is the projected finishing date still March 5th?
Based upon his projection of the 3 to 4 weeks, if he can make up that time, yes. If he cannot make up that time, he talked about today that there have been some rain days and weather delays, but by contract, the way Todel's approached it, they're not getting any rain delay days, so they got to make up not only what they were behind, but rain days as well, and their staffing. Trying, you mentioned maybe putting more manpower on it, working weekends, whatever it takes. We'll keep you posted.
So is that a yes, they're behind schedule?
Yes,
They
they are
plan on
behind
making it
schedule.
up?
They're going to say they're going to attempt to make it up
By at least 3 weeks?
by at least 3 weeks. That's what we understood.
Okay. So we're gonna try to hold on to that date and see if they can
Yes.
make time up.
Yes. And we will keep you posted. I'll have Wes, when Wes gets back to the meetings and comes in, he can also give you a post, because that's what they're doing, is monitoring the schedule.
Okay.
Okay?
Updates on the construction still left to do at Floyd Central?
As far as an update, you want to talk about, give an update on Floyd Central? I didn't bring photos of Floyd Central. You know, I figured everybody's been through it by now. And
Yeah.
I drove by and got out and looked, it looks awesome. I love the lights when you drive by at night, see those lights.
Yes,
It's sharp.
it's very nice.
Biggest update that we had in schools.
Well,
Thank goodness.
yes, now,
The big thing that's on everybody's mind now is the volleyball poles installed. Those sleeves showed up. Those were originally shipped to us in May, and they were just kicked from rubber poles and ended up thrown away. We had new ones shipped. I received them today, and I've got an installer going to start installing those in the morning.
okay,
Hopefully we'll get those installed tomorrow.
okay.
The materials here, and the installer's here. He's going to start on it in the morning.
Once they're installed, once they're installed, is there any time frame that we have to wait to let those set?
No, we're gonna do that quick, figure out. The sleeve, we'll pour a hole, and we set that sleeve in a hole and grout around it. And then when the grout matures, you sling the post and cut it off.
Okay,
Well, they do have a match tomorrow night, so can they use those tomorrow night?
I don't see why you couldn't. And I said, we're gonna use a fast cure grout, so, we just drill a hole, get the sleeve in it, and grout it. And it sets up.
Well, we use two of them tomorrow night, so the main 4 game posts, we do them first, maybe let it quicker. See,
We are gonna do the game, the main one first.
okay,
And that way, if something doesn't get done, it'll be the two side ones. But we're shooting to get them all pulled down. It's just a matter of drilling holes.
okay. And auditorium?
Auditorium, we're starting to drill holes for the seats tomorrow. We'll lay out today. My contractor, Atlas, is installing those seats, and because we didn't have it in by the weekends. Carpet guy's gonna be here Thursday, start putting carpet down. So the carpet and seats are the two aesthetic items. You're having owner training on your stage lighting system Wednesday. It's another big item. And that training is already scheduled for 1 o'clock on Wednesday for your lighting, stage lighting.
And it's already in and ready to go?
The
or-
lighting is, the lighting over top of the seating is in, where, as we speak, installing the lighting on the stage.
And are they working as long as they have to ensure that it will be
I
done?
worked till 2 in the morning last week. So they're working 8 hours starting at 4 o'clock.
Okay, they need to work till 6 in the morning. not
Well,
really
I'm there,
early.
but they're gonna be working 8 hours.
Okay. All right.
what do you think of the floor on the stage, the auditorium?
Painted black.
Yeah, but, let me explain it, because that may be something you're not used to seeing. Used to, you do a fancy wood gym floor finish on it, you know, kind of like a dance floor. Nowadays, with all of the set construction and everything that goes on, we found that a blackout floor is much more suitable. That way you don't have to put paper down, cover up the floor, or rugs or anything like that. If you go to staple stuff or build stuff on that floor, that's what everyone is sort of going to, and it's worked out real well to have that blacked out floor. One thing I will add about your schedule, one of the things I want to get with Greta, I was hoping she might be here tonight, but I will call her tomorrow. I want to set up, Codell notified us last week at the time that people have been calling you and saying, well, that's not done, this is not done. Please, again, remind the folks that, the architect has not, and the engineers have not had their opportunity to prepare an adequate punch list. So that's what we're doing next. So we'll be going through, sort of being the eyes on your behalf of picking out all the issues and anything that needs to be addressed, being corrected.
Parking around the windows.
Yeah, the parking around the windows and all that we've been talking about, making sure that gets done so we don't have some of the issues develop later on. One of the things that we're going to do is I want to talk to her about when to conduct that, when is it acceptable to her. We've held off. I did not want to interrupt instruction, but I think it would be good if we could do this in a manner that we don't have to interrupt instruction. So I'm going to be looking for school breaks anytime, because it makes no sense for you all to have me come down and punch 2 rooms and there's only 2 rooms available. I need to try to get a cohesive report done. We're going to send folks out to do that once I coordinate that with Greg.
The late evening or the weekend.
Whatever we have to do, we'll try our best to get that done.
If the digital signboard is on the road, there's a couple of issues. First of all, it's not working.
Well, I talked with
Well,
Well, I talked to Toadvine. Toadvine indicated, and Bill, maybe you can add some information to that, that was a height that somebody had told them to set it at. We're trying to figure out who told them to set it at that height, because of visibility, as you drive down the road, it's sort of at an eye level and not way up high. So I'm trying to figure out who was the magic person that said set it at that height.
Yeah, because we were told it would be very visible as you came down the hill and you started up from the eastern. That it would be a
Well, we were looking at, that's what I thought. I expected a 10-foot height,
Yeah.
but I don't see that. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, why did it change and who authorized that change and where did that go from? So it may have been somebody on site just asked somebody and they said, okay, yeah, that's fine, looks good there, let's lower it down to that height. We'll get it worked out. We'll figure out what's going on there and I'll go with that. As far as operation, he thought it was operational. Toadvine, who is actually an installing contractor, unluckily, as luck would have it, I should say, the gentleman in charge of that from his office is on vacation. So he's trying to contact him to find out what's the issue, what's going on, why it isn't working. Okay, the fiber optic, Bill's got the answer, fiber optics haven't been pulled. So do you know who's responsible for pulling it? Any other questions?
Anybody else? Any questions? All right. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
I need a motion to receive the construction manager report. Jenny made a motion, I need a second. Second, Dr. Henry, any opposed? Motion passes. Next is action by consent, which is 6A all the way through 6U. Take a minute and look over that. Does anybody need anything for discussion? And I need a motion to approve 6A through 6U. You made a motion, I need a second. Dr. Kendra, any opposed? Motion passes. Sean, is there any for executive session? I need a motion to adjourn. Dr. Kendra, I need a second. Dinger, motion passed. Meeting's adjourned.